we'll see, you know, which team can get themselves down the first. But you get it by capturing objectives. You get points for killing each other, assists, all sorts of things. And here it is, Curse versus Mono.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what they have.
Yep.
Right off the bat, Shaco being banned, always a nuisance.
Which if you haven't played Dominion, or if you haven't played Dominion really since release, AP Shaco is quite possibly the biggest pain in the ass to deal with, because those jack-in-the-boxes, he just plants them down at every single point. You don't even need anyone to defend it.
Could you imagine Rengar on Dominion, though? There's brushes all over the place.
Oh,
or
wow.
bushes all over the place.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah, so they banned him out right off the bat. But I don't know. We'll see what kind of strategies will be coming to the board here. Clearly, the epitome of skill, the dedication and whatnot that they've put into this game has just come forth over such a long period of time. It will be an inspiring feat to check out both of these teams playing.
Kassadin also being banned out by Curse, and as we mentioned before, mobility is king when it comes to Dominion. And you notice too, Rammus extremely mobile. Kassadin, once he hits 6, which he will hit very quickly. Once he has that ult, he becomes very mobile. Same thing with Rengar. Kha'Zix can clear a lot of... We talk Rengar, there's so many bushes on Crystal Scar. Imagine Kha'Zix, there's so many walls to jump over.
Yeah.
If he evolves his wings first. Cripes. And Evelyn going to be the last ban here for Mono.Ferus. Lee Sin, still a pretty mobile dude, looking to be the first pick here for Curse.
And the lack of mana should help him, though the mana regen is higher, and teams, I don't know, a lot of champions don't usually end up with mana issues, but Lee Sin can be a very strong pick. He can kite around, he can, lifesteal, shield himself to avoid poke from your opponents, shield his allies. But right now we are seeing Amumu and Malphite. They are both still open. We were talking about how those kind of strong AoE champions can potentially really quickly influence the match. That and bruisers. There are a number of really strong bruisers open. Olaf, he has that close range killing potential, but he also has long range poke. Jax is just so strong up front. And I have to imagine that Jace would be a very strong pick in Dominion. But right off the bat, Blitzcrank, who has to be a monster. There's the Jace pick, and then I was going to say Xerath as the second one, but they don't. They hold off on the Xerath. They get Jace, who has to be phenomenal. Yeah. Like, he can just hold a point by himself with his long range poke. Now,
I'm actually surprised that West Rice isn't playing in this match, because Akali is also quite powerful on Dominion.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm kind of surprised that Curse isn't.
Well, Curse, they did make the statement when Salsay was joining the team that West Rice was the star. He's the main player right now, but that they wanted Salsay to be competing in the major serious tournaments to get himself practice. And clearly,
absolutely, this is the most important tournament.
Which is why, he's playing.
This has got to be at least the most important match that these guys have played, at least for the past, 2 days. Clearly.
Oh, I mean,
clearly.
Minimum one day. I mean,
yeah, minimum.
2 days might be pushing it, but minimum. It's going to be exciting. I mean, because you don't often get to play Dominion at a high level or Treeline at a high level. Like, if you get to 1800s Treeline, you're looking at hour-long queues, then you're still going to drop down 300 ELO to play people. It's not like you're playing against it's not like Curse and TSM are playing each other on Treeline and ranked, or Dominion or anything. But we'll be able to check this out. Mundo, he has plenty of regen. That right now Curse is just going for that straight bruiser team. So the concern for Mono is that they're going to have enough damage to deal with it. So, AoE can work against that, but they really need persistent damage.
Yes, this I'm liking. One of the biggest strategies, and one thing I did in Dominion for the longest time, and nearly the vast majority of my Dominion games were AP Soraka bot lane, because the star call, you max it out first. The push that provides is enormous. And what's going to be the most important part for both these teams is who's going to be that solo bot, who's going to be trying to hold down the fort, and Soraka is definitely footing the bill on that one.
And later on, when there's more group fights, Soraka, as she fits against the rest of the team, they have a full bruiser team, so that armor is going to be huge at crushing the physical damage they're putting out. And then also she has great sustained damage, like you said, with that star call. But yeah, it is likely that she'll be going the bottom. Though they have a couple of options. Jace could, single-handedly take that bottom. I think because he's one of their few bruisers right now, he's going to be going up in the top lane. They'll use Xerath as well for that long-range poke and just quick kill potential. Curse right now, though, going with the Zyra pick and then also the Cog. And I would expect the Zyra pick to be in the bot lane, but I guess there's a couple of options. They could send Zyra up top to give them some CC with the rest of their team.
I would expect the Kog'Maw to be on his own bot, because even then when you see him, when you go on Summoner's Rift, most times when there's a Kog'Maw on the team, it's all about protecting him. He can still be very squishy, and even though you do get the increased gold, looking up against the threat, if you get the Blitz hook, Xerath, the long range is going to be very difficult to deal with that. And Jace, he can close the gap easy. And Ezreal left open. Ezreal's just good in any map, really. It's Ezreal, come on.
And it's interesting, you see a really differing strategy between the two teams. Right off the bat, we see the revives from Mono, so looking pretty sexy there. They know their Dominion, but I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see how the two teams compare, because Mono, they have a team that's a little bit better at kiting and picking people off, poking them down a little bit, defending the turrets, and just going for one kill in particular, like with Blitzcrank or anything like that. Whereas Curse, they have an overrun kind of team fight team. Like their team is just absurdly strong in team fights, because they have all these bruisers up front. Kog'Maw has ridiculous amounts of damage and everything. Yep,
and you'll notice here too that Muffin Cutie, with both the revive and the garrison, is probably going to be there in the bot lane. And I saw that.
Yeah.
But the garrison there to help also defend against the pushes that will inevitably come when everyone else on the team gets bored. They decide to like, oh, we can't push down top lane. We've already lost. We might as well try and just wreck Soraka and take that tower. Everyone's oh, garrison, no, not going to happen. No.
Yeah, no, the garrison will help them, and playing against a team that doesn't have garrison, because you can use it both offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
And considering right now Curse, their team. Sorry, I'll stop moving that around. Their team is built for team fights, like we said. They want to just win a fight, bully them around, become too strong for Mono to deal with. Well, even if they win one fight, it might be difficult for them to take a point or take the base, because Mono is going to be able to stall them. They're going to be able to say, "Oh, you beat us. Okay, well now you're low health, and we're going to prot up the shield. We're going to use Garrison to completely shut down your push, and then we're going to come back. And if you haven't, gone back already, we're going to be at an advantage because you're going to be low. We're going to be a little bit stronger, and then they can use that to counter push and take some nice advantages. So it's an interesting difference between the strategies that we'll be able to check out.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't help but think though that not going for the revive strategy, that Curse may be a little inexperienced in Dominion, because if it's revive is almost always a pickup here, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And Muffin Cutie running the William Biederman strategy, movement speed, some defensive stuff. I have no idea what kind of inside joke that is, but I thought it was interesting.
0921.
Yeah, so defensive, and that is kind of that's kind of support, but it's also how you would build AP Soraka a lot of times, because you want the defense, you want a lot of utility. So we'll see where he's going with that. Just doing a quick rundown. Smithy. Some defense as well, but a little bit more ability power. 21-0 and 9, or 21-1 and 8. So getting the Garrison mastery there. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what both these teams can bring out. Some offensive for Mandatory Cloud on Jace.
21-1-8, very similar, just on the AP side there, AD side. And let's take a look at Curse. What's Night Jackie going to be running here with Desire? Get some Magic Pen and some Mana Regen, which isn't quite really all that required, since you already get some from the passive here in Dominion. But 21-0-9 going to be looking for a little bit of that damage. Let's see. Let's also take a look at Elements, actually. Let's see what he's running on the Lee Sin. He got runes. He's going for quite a bit of damage, and the move speed also. Mastery's 21-9-0. Standard stuff coming in from Lee. And then also St. Vicious. Is he going offensive, or just going to be sticking around? Magic Resist, a lot of armor pen.
Yeah, that's a lot of armor.
That is quite a bit of armor. He's looking to just stick out in front, let the rest of the team do the work. 9-21-0.
It is interesting, though. He could potentially also tank the turrets for them. So having as much armor as he does, those turrets will take almost no. He'll take almost no damage from those turret shots, which will allow them to be really aggressive. Since that's what they need to do. They can't allow Mono to kite them when they're looking to fight. They need to be able to just run them down and bully them around, so the turret won't stall them there.
You also notice that he went the 4% cooldown reduction and the percentage magic pen on the offense tree. So we may see St. Vicious looking to do a little bit of damage. He may be maxing out those cleavers first to try and minimize some of the mobility here.
I just realized I should have checked if Cop was going AP or AD. I'm assuming it's AD, but we'll check once we get into the game.
Right. Well, it's not uncommon. You see a lot of champs in Dominion go AP when they're standard AD or otherwise utility champs. Case being Shaco, which was their first ban. So we'll see in just a moment as we load on in. That is full revive on the Mono.Ferus. Curse running quite a bit of Ignite, quite a bit of Flash. Seems like standard for Summoner's Rift, but we'll see how it serves them here as we're loading on in.
And right off the bat, the most important thing for Dominion,
the skin war.
No skin advantage either way.
Yep.
It is a 4-4 even split.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Oh, wow. Yeah, for Zyra's, no, Zyra doesn't have a skin. There you go. It just always looks bombastic. Always.
Bombastic?
Bombastic.
Oh, I love that.
Here we are.
Bombastic. Go.
Game number 1 in the LoL Olympics. Curse.NA versus Mono.Ferus. Match number 1 is going to be on Crystal Scar. You got both of our teams set up and ready in Mono.Ferus, starting with the full revive
While
team.
we're ticking down, guys, just the last couple of remaining seconds. Get your bets out. Go into the chat, joke around with each other, I guess. But we'll see. Soraka in particular, that's a fine, horse. She has an excellent breed from such, distinct lineage such as War Admiral and Secretariat.
Muffin Cutie and Xmithy starting with their binder Chalice's first. You got move 5 boots. Also on Blitz is going to have that really, really good move speed, looking to get up to the 12 o'clock tower. You got the blades being stacked relentlessly here on Curse. You got 3 Prospector's blades, and you got the ring too.
Just checking a look real quick at everyone's starting abilities. Soraka, the only one unusual. Everyone else going with actually 1 of each. But Soraka going with 2 Star Calls, whereas 2 Bio-Arcane Barrages going for Kog'Maw. So, both of them, that'll help them with the damage. But Muffin Cutie actually not getting any regen early on. Recognizing, all right, the silence is going to help her some with the damage.
Oh, wow.
But then also, they're already going to have enough health regen and health from the relics.
Aphromoo.
And they're out of the gate.
And they're out. Aphromoo, move 5 boots. And 10 health potions. I'm just noticing that too. He is looking to tank like a boss. Like Smithy grabbing the 3 o'clock. He's
going for it. He's going to win the race. He's getting there first.
Grabbing the 9 o'clock. And Aphromoo with all of that speed going through the boost too. Going to be hitting the point first at the 12 o'clock. Salsy's going to get there when it's halfway done. Mandatory Cloud with the poke, keeping everybody away, but Nijaki with the damage going to keep Aphromoo away. You got 2 V3 here up at the 12 o'clock. C's going down also from Zyra, but Muffin Cutie and Saint Vicious dueling it out bot lane. You also get the exhaust on Muffin Cutie.
Saint's going for the kill.
The first blood going here down in the bot. Will go to Curse, but they may lose the top. It is already at half. Curse needs to stop this. They need to just resist all the poke. And the hooks from Aphromoo, you have to be careful about that. Element's coming around the side, looking to try and just get some poke damage down onto Mono. Nijaki on the side. Mandatory Cloud gets caught way too far behind, and first blood up top lane. Kog'Maw going to be grabbing that one, and now Mono.Ferus are not looking so hot.
Oh, Aphromu's going for the hook over the wall, though. He has Nijaki in his sights. He's got him cornered, coming back around, but will back off shortly.
Here comes Jace.
Curse, they win the first exchange, but Lee Sin jumping in. Elements picks up the first kill. The snare on the balls. He barely gets over the wall, but Mandatory Cloud coming around to help him out.
He did revive. He is now back with that extra movement speed, and Aphromu's still taking a lot of damage, drinking those health pots as quickly as a robot can. More poke coming down, but the tower will be capped, and Curse will secure to 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and right off the bat, Curse has an early advantage. Cop barely gets out of there, but Salse coming back in with the stun to Elements. He picks up the kill, and Mandatory Cloud goes down as well. And so an early advantage for Curse. None of those revives being blown yet. Actually, Jace, he does use his. So Mandatory Cloud, his is down, and then he dies immediately afterwards, even with the health bonus.
So now Curse has grabbed the critical 12 o'clock tower, and it's very difficult in a setup like this in Dominion to try and defend that on a regular basis, because you still also keep your 9 o'clock open. Nice kick over the wall. Elements with the Q. Fantastic kill there. And Muffin Cutie once again getting low down to bot lane. Does manage to take out the Mundo. St. Vicious got a little bit too antsy, started trying to take the tower a little bit, and could not grab that kill.
Yeah, and Salse exchanging with Aphromoo a little bit there. And Mono, they're looking to take back this top, but an early lead, pulling on the Curse. There's the hook over the wall. Aphromoo gets him. The stun from Xmithy as well. Mandatory Cloud knocking him away just barely. He's not going to go down. The shield from Elements allows him to get out of there. So perfect exchange from Curse, but a little bit preemptive, and actually Xmithy not getting quite the damage that he needed to in order to take him down. But they are in a nice position here where they can try and force their way in for this top turret.
Soraka has pushed down to the 7 o'clock. A lot of minions there, has neutralized the tower. May actually be looking to catch it with all these minions here, but Mundo will be able to clear them out. Hook once again down onto Salsa. Zyra ult, popping 3 members of Mono up, but Jax does go down in the exchange. Balls taking down those turret shots, but Aphromoo is kind of tired of it, starts recapping the 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and Cop coming in very quickly, taking down Xmithy, gets him over the wall, and they will be chasing in, but Aphromoo with another hook. They might be able to pick up this kill, but it's easily going to seal their fate as Blitzcrank goes down, followed by Jace. And Cop, they're still able to hold on to this tower. The triple kill for Lee Sin. Elements has just been unstoppable so far this game, and right now the poke isn't quite working for them, but they are getting the point in time where they're going to be a little bit stronger. Xmithy in particular, now that he's hit level 6, he had hit it a little bit ago on Xerath. That's absolutely huge, because Xerath is a mid-game champion. He, can just instantly win fights and burst people down with that ultimate.
Objectives have spawned at the 12 and 3. Next one of those points being captured, the entire team's getting a nice little damage buff. You also saw Muffin Cutie come up. He did grab the storm buff. He was trying to make his way to top lane, but the rest of his team died before he can actually get there. But he pushed out bot lane far enough where he actually cleared time for him to actually wander on in and see if he could help his team.
Yeah, right off the bat, we're seeing some aggressive item choices from Mono. Those will help them in those fights if they can get those phage procs. Xmithy trying to get the stun of Elements, but Elements, he's just coming around, no fear. He only has the Doran's right now, or the Prospector's Blade right now, so he hasn't had a chance to go back and spend all of his gold, but he is still very strong at this point. And Mundo still dueling with St. Vicious, but St. Vicious is just crushing him. And with the heals, Muffin Cutie still isn't tanky enough, so he needs a little bit of armor. He does get the quick revive, so he's going to try and turn this around, but I think St. Vicious is just a little bit too tanky for him. Mundo at this point in time does go exactly where he pleases.
Yeah, and Mundo, once he gets 6, he's got, with all this money, he did also get the Spirit of Visage, so that ult is going to be helping him immensely. However, if Soraka manages to tank up, could definitely be a dueling force, is working towards the Woda already. Does also have, has a Chain Vest, but remember that Mundo, in this instance, he's got a lot of the cleavers. He's also got the Burning Agony. He's doing magic damage, so maybe an Abyssal might work a little better here.
And the range from Curse is just perfect right now, because Cop, he has the damage from a distance if they can't engage on him, and then Nijaki allows them to kite with the snare. So even though they're dealing against this nasty poke team, it doesn't matter, and Salsa goes in for the kill. Curse could now hunt them down. There's the pop-up onto Aphromoo from Nijaki. Salsa jumping in once again. They pick up another kill, and they're just in complete control at this point. Mono, they're really struggling to get back into this.
This is how vital the 12 o'clock capture point is. It is the centerpiece. Everything is furthest away from the spawns. It is the easiest to defend. And you see here, Curse, their control of this 12 o'clock tower is absolutely stellar. Just Mono.Ferus, they cannot penetrate it. If they want a chance, Muffin Cutie needs to push down bot lane and come up and help the team. And you see he's coming here, he's going to be grabbing the health mark. Is he going to be looking to commit? No, he has to go back down because he realizes St. Vicious, he's quite powerful at this point. He's got great AoE damage with the Burning Agony, and he can actually take the tower if Muffin Cutie does not push out far enough.
Aphromoo, no fear. Mandatory Cloud coming up. Xmithy gets some damage on the Cop. The Ezreal ult doesn't hit, but Jace is able to pick it up in the end. Mandatory Cloud going to go down to Kog'Maw, though, and Curse will have the opportunity to turn this around because Elements, with that buff, is an absolute monster right now. Absolutely no fear. He's going to be able to take them down. And Curse, the way Dominion is designed, Elements just barely surviving. You can turn around at any point in time. So early advantages very quickly turn around. Teams will get down to seconds away from losing and then win the game. But the key is you need to figure out a way to win the small exchanges. And right now, Curse is just abusing Mono.
Mono, they did neutralize the 12 o'clock tower, though, and that is actually a win for them. You don't actually necessarily have to take it. You just need to neutralize it. Aphromoo looking to tank both Jackie and Elements, but a kick to the face is going to be ending that. And the rest of Mono, they will not be up in time to capitalize on the neutralized point. It will go back up to full health. And there you go, Curse back in the power position. Passing on the Storm buff.
Oh, nice snipe from
Smithy. Fantastic work. And the passive going to be hitting on the Mandatory Cloud. Cop trying to get some damage down, but there is Aphromoo right out in front. And Smithy from behind starting to cap that tower. Elements doesn't grab the kill onto Mandatory Cloud, but Aphromoo, the robot, blitz with those boxing gloves, looking to hit a blind man in the face. You got the tower now proccing, and nice shutdown balls from a distance with the two-shot barrage.
The pull into the Ezreal ultimate.
You got Aftermoon Balls. You got Salsa, who's trying to just dissuade everyone, get some damage onto someone, and now Mono miraculously has retaken.
That's the first capture of the entire game for Mono for the top.
And with that, though, they now have the extra the quest buff, which will give them a little bit more damage. It will make him hurt, and it's going to make that 12 o'clock point a little bit easier to defend. But this is bot lane, though, is still a constant worry for Mono. Soraka not quite working as intended. The regen from Mundo is just too much to deal with.
Well, and Mundo's damage early on is absolutely absurd. So, you know, he's able to just bully her around. Mundo, he gets like 50 damage to his auto attacks from the E, and so that's just enough, along with all the rest of his magic damage, to really quickly beat up Soraka, even with all the armor that he has, even with the Frozen Heart. Elements jumps in, gets the quick double kill, but then they do turn it around, so just getting a little bit low from that exchange, and Mono are able to hold on to this. So this is actually where Mono is in a decent position here. If they can, once they have the capture point, once they have the advantage, their poke works perfectly because they can try and wear them down and prevent them from ever actually getting a full strong engage.
You also noticed that Muffin Cutie bought the Frozen Heart and some Ninja Tabby. So yeah, I thought the magic damage was going to be a worry, but it seems like the physical damage is going to be the bigger concern. But Aftermoon down bot lane here to help retake the tower. Muffin Cutie still being harassed by the Mundo, and Blitz also taking turret damage because it needs to be recaptured. St. Vicious getting very low.
St. Vicious, he doesn't even care.
Wow, still going in, trying to get the kill. Muffin Cutie will still somehow live, but the minions did help a little bit out on that push, and bot will be retaken to 5 o'clock, recaptured from Mono.Ferus, but they have thinned their defenses top lane in order to recap that point. So Aftermoon, being brave as he is, trying to grab as much damage onto the 7 o'clock turret as he can, keeping Elements distracted. He does have to go down to deal with this. He's neutralized it, mission accomplished, but Elements there should be able to pick up the kill on this.
Yeah, Aftermoon, I think he's just going to get out in time. No, but the shield, the slow, he should be able to pick up the kill. Nice. Gets it really quickly, and actually Curse have been able to zone Mono off of this top turret. Salse is getting pretty low, though, and that's kind of a little unexpected considering how strong a bruiser he is, but they've been able to wear him down, but Cop is able to zone for them. They just have to watch out that Xmithy doesn't get a good stun on one of them.
And you see Xmithy, he's trying to do as much zoning as he can, but you know, Jay's Mandatory Cloud, he's also getting some pretty decent poke onto Salse. Oh, nice True Shot Barrage, not going to be enough to kill the Kog'Maw. But the Zyra, the plants blocking up that entire ramp. Xmithy looking to duel 1-for-1 there, but Elements from behind grabbing the kill down onto Ez. Now Mandatory Cloud is trapped, wants to take Jackie down with him, and he will. Kill for kill there, but Curse will be able to try and neutralize the 12 o'clock. Aftermoon with the silence, that's damage. That's going to stop him. Pop up onto Lee Sin, getting the grab onto the Kog'Maw. That's going to be enough damage to actually get the kill onto him. You got the passive.
As long as he doesn't die, though.
As long as he doesn't die, and Balls is actually here to help use his revive. Had to get back up the top lane, and there's the Phage proc. Elements going down here. Oh, there we go. Took a second. One revive remaining on Mono.Ferus. Mandatory Clouds is back up. That's probably going to be the only other one he's going to get in this series. Muffin Cuties is almost going to be back up in just a few moments.
And Balls is the hero of the match for them right now. You know, he gives them enough sustained damage in order to be able to win these exchanges. So without his AD, potential later on in the game, Jax would just be too tanky. Elements, he would be too tanky. So all these champions would be almost unstoppable. But the rest of the team, they have the damage early on to easily control these fights. And then as long as Balls is kiting effectively, he's going to be able to win this. But Salse, he's decided to stop going for the top. He's switching his mode, and they're diving for Muffin Cutie down to the bottom.
And Muffin Cutie's had a rough time this entire time. Stun going down, still under tower. St. Vicious tanking like a boss. He's got the ult up and ready, but Salse with the damage to help run interference. The 5 o'clock will be taken by Curse. Xmithy looking to duel Elements. Another kick to the face, going to be dealing with the Xerath. And Jackie in retreat, waiting for the Phage proc. You got the gap closer. There you go. That's what you wanted. Zyra going down there.
Yeah, they do pick up the kill. They are still waiting for a couple of their revives to be up, but a couple of them are up right now. Balls is a little bit low, so he needs to get some health, but they were able to even up that exchange. So it is a little bit of an advantage for Curse right here, and Salse waiting in the wings will try and jump in, but he doesn't know it's two. He does see actually both of them walk out there, so we'll see how brazen he is if he's going to try and stop both of them, and I think he might be able to pick up one of these kills here, but he has to watch out. He needs to use the turret to his advantage, which he's doing perfectly right now.
Garrison is not up for Soraka. If it was, that fight would actually be a lot more in their favor. But Curse is actually being pressured in at their 9 o'clock. You got 3 members of MTW here looking to try and take this one, at least while their 5 o'clock is being pressured. Xmithie right by the ramp of spawn. Muffin Kitty, will he get there? No, he will not. Xerath looking for damage, but Muffin Kitty, the revive, is back up. Zooming
that's a
straight
fast
back in.
Soraka.
That is the fastest Soraka I have ever seen. More damage from
Xmithie,
Xerath.
he has the kill on St. Vicious.
Does get it. Salse, though, wants to get the revenge kill, but the heals too close proximity to the Soraka.
Oh, the
still
double
gets
kill.
It. Nice double right there.
Yeah, and Elements comes up top. He's able to pick up the first kill. Aframu walking in. He's trying to stall them from getting that, but he's going to dot very quickly. So yeah, he did, you know, was able to get that off. It stalled for a second, but didn't really do a whole lot after that. So Curse is able to take back the top. It will move to 3-2 in their advantage, 338 to 179. So they have twice actually the health of Mono right now. Yep. But we'll see. Muffin Cutie, he's been increasingly tanky so far. He's getting the cooldown reduction as well. He's close to 40%, which is huge. That's going to allow him to be a little bit more tanky against St. Vicious and, you know, potentially try and win that exchange.
But right now, though, the MVP so far is Elements. He's contributed the most. He's got the Sanguine Blade. He's got the Phage. He's got the Hexdrinker. He gets all he needs. But you look at Mono.Ferus, though, they do have the number 3 Freak Special combo, 3 Trinity Forces. They want those slows. They want that burst damage in all of these attacks.
Mandatory Cloud chasing down Cop, will be able to pick up that kill, while Salse is just jumping back and forth. Balls is able to kite him out, so once again, Mono's able to retake top, and this is actually seeming to turn against Curse a little bit here, so they need to get their bruisers in line. Elements goes in for a kill, but Aframu with the hook back. Xmithie just barely going to survive from that Ignite, and they're actually pushing forward, so they're going for another capture point rather than sitting back defensively. This could actually turn against them, but they see, now that it's into the later stages of the game, Curse, they all have really long respawn timers, so they're actually going to be able to get this. They will be able to recall as well, and most likely be able to get up to defend the top.
Yeah, and this is where the revives start coming into play. Granted, they are all down. Aframus will actually be up not too long from now. Xmithie and Balls, theirs may actually also come up before this game ends, so we'll see if that's going to come into play also. And Elements, I know, dude, you are the current MVP right now, but that doesn't mean you can 1v4 and 1v3. You have to still be careful here.
Yeah, he's just not quite tanky as the game's progressing, and that's an issue with the scaling of Lee Sin. Xmithie comes in, though, picks up the quick on Nijaki. Salse's going to try and turn this around, and he will have plenty of damage, but he has to back off. The hook onto Cop, though, he drops very quickly, and Aframu barely going down in the end to that Ignite. And so Mono, they've turned this around completely. Jax and Cog are insanely strong as the game progresses, but if they're dying this quickly, and if, you know, Cog isn't in a safe position, then Curse won't be able to take advantage of that. And those long death times are just absolutely brutal at this point, but we'll see if Curse can turn it around, because they've had some really fancy plays so far to take the early advantage, and they have looked incredibly strong in the beginning.
Yep. However, though, with 4 points captured to 1, though, that timer, that score is going to be flip-flopping very rapidly because of this tower disparity. And you do have members of Mono here looking to defend the 9 o'clock. This is their most difficult tower to defend. It is the furthest point away from their spawn. So Aframu's revive is up if he needs it. Is going to play a very vital role here. Mandatory Cloud out in front. Salse looking for the lead, looking for damage, but the Zyra ult, Mono just walks out of it. You still have Aframu popped up, but Jax will fall. Nijaki being pulled on in. 3 kills, all from Mono. They will successfully defend the 9 o'clock.
And Curse, they have a team which is much better on the defensive end. It's much better when they actually have the capture advantage because they don't have to worry about the poke quite as much. Now in this situation, Muffin Cutie turning it around on the St. Vicious.
He waited for the last second on that wish.
That was absurd. But in this situation, because of the poke that Mono has, they're able to just stall them all day. And whenever Curse tries to come in to capture, Mono can just sit a mile back off of the point and prevent them from taking anything. And that's why they now have all 5 capture points and are pushing them in on all sides. Curse really needs to make something happen quickly, but the ult from Xerath is once again enough. Cop does go down as Salse is trying to turn it around, but they just don't have enough. They're running in 4v2. They can't push in on the turrets because of the poke, and they're not getting a lot of advantages. Hook from Afro. They grab the double kill as we swing down to Muffin Cutie. He's dueling with St. Vicious. St. Vicious has plenty of damage, but now that the team is able to circle in on him, he's going down. A triple kill for Mandatory Cloud.
Quick on Soraka real quick. I want to know how much armor Muffin Cutie has at this moment, because it is an absurd amount. I have to know as soon as Elements dies here. They 300
right after the heal, 373.
373 armor on Soraka. That is absolutely absurd. I didn't even know.
2-1-0. That is the game.
Very well done. Mono.Ferus takes the Crystal Scar. Very well done. That was a very impressive play, and I think right now whoever makes armor for Valorant, they're very happy. Their business right now
the
is
Valrandian steel
is so lucrative right now. Soraka is like, she's got like a platinum frequent shopper card on that one.
Oh, twice off with your bonus. How much has Soraka saved on her monthly bill?
Warden's Mail, Frozen Heart, Ninja Tabby.
It was brutal. That bottom Soraka worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
The revives, we saw the strength as the game progressed a little bit more. Early on, the aggressive summoners definitely worked out for Curse, but once Mono was able to start bullying around Curse, they never gave up a single point, and even pushing aggressively. It came to a point where you thought, okay, Mono's starting to get kind of low. They're sitting right outside Curse's base. Surely this is going to be in Curse's favor. But Curse, they still couldn't push into him. Mono was able to just stall them with their poke. They were able to win the long advantage. So clearly, Mono's been playing a lot of Dominion. They have been preparing. They, know what's what. And they're able to pick up the win. Elements 18-7-6.
Yeah. Absurdly
strong early on, but then it turned against him a little bit as the game progressed. He just wasn't quite strong enough to deal with Mono's range poke and then damage.
And just the same principles that apply to Summer's Rift, some of them also do apply here. And you'll see Elements on Curse, he was front-loaded with all of the points on his team. And when he goes down in fights, which we saw quite often there, heading into the late game, he was trying to engage on 1v4s, and it just was not quite working out for him. But that is Dominion. Mono.Ferus taking that one. Coming up next, we're moving to Twisted Tree Line, aren't we?
We are going to Twisted Tree Line. So quick rundown, guys. This is, once again, the format we're running here. It's the LoL Olympics. It's basically a decathlon. We start off with Dominion, move to Twisted Tree Line, move to Summoner's Rift. If we have a tie after those 3 games, then we have the final sudden death match is going to be Proving Grounds blind pick. So not ARAM, blind pick. But we'll be able to check that out. When we come back, we'll get to see who's going to be featured for these teams, which ones they're going to be throwing up as their champions to win them this match. And it's definitely going to be an interesting one, guys. So real quick, we're going to commercial.